Okay, I just want to make a quick video on how to analyze the data you took in lab today. So here we are in LoggerPro, and the first thing you need to do is insert the video into your project. So we're going to go right up here to Insert, and we're going to click Movie. And I saved my movie to my desktop, so let me find that desktop. Here we go, the ramp video. So when I open that up, it'll come up with the video that I took in lab today. And if you have a pretty fast computer, you can hit this play button down at the bottom here and it'll play the video. My computer is not super fast, so that didn't really look good, but it doesn't matter if you have that kind of computing power either. So the first thing you want to do is set it up. And you have to hit this button down in the bottom right corner. It has a bunch of little red dots down here. So I'm going to hit that. And I'm sorry for my buttons being so small, but here are your options for analyzing the video on the side column over here. I'm going to set my scale. So that's this button here, Set Scale. It's the fourth button down. It looks like a little ruler. Horizontal ruler, and this group decided that they were that a meter, I think, is down from until this blue dot down here. So I'm just going to click and drag, and you'll see a green line appear. And as soon as I release the mouse button, it says enter the distance and units that correspond with the distance in the movie. Now that for me was 1 meter. You might have chosen to have two dots be like 50 centimeters or something, and you can change that here. So you would put 50 centimeters. But in my case, that whole green line represents 1 meter. And this is calibrating the video. So I'm going to hit OK. So now all of my measurements that come up in LoggerPro are going to be the correct length. The next thing I want to do is set my axes. Now, you can choose any axes you want, really, but I want this to be linear motion, so motion along a line. So I want this ramp to be like my x-axis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this third button down, which is to set the coordinate system. I think it says, what does it say? Set origin. So I'm going to pick a place where the cart is starting, and that's going to be my position equals 0 location. So right here, I'm going to always take my points from the front of the car right here. So I'm going to set my origin to be right where my first point is going to be, which is there. Now you see these yellow axes come up. This is the X and Y axis. And this little dot to the right of the crosshair is you can click and drag that in order to set your axes. So I want my axes to be a little tilted, so I'm just going to click and drag that little dot until I have my axis that's parallel to the cart. So now you're done with the setup part, and so we want to try to find the place in the video where the motion actually starts. So I'm going to go down here, just drag this little bar, and we're going to step through the movie a little here. And I'm going to see, I notice like when I go a little bit farther that the car is now moving. So I'm going to drag it back a little. Sorry, just want to get it just right for the beginning of the movie. And this is about the beginning of where the cart is released. So I want to start taking data here. So over here on the right, I'm going to select this first point or this first button in the second group of buttons. And it says, let's see, toggle trails. So I'm going to select that. Is that what I want? Oh no, I'm sorry. You're going to pick the second button here from the right. I apologize. It's the second button that says Add Points. Second button from the top. It looks like a red dot in some crosshairs. Now what I'm going to be doing is selecting where I'm telling the computer where the cart actually is. So right now in this frame of the video, my cart is right here. And as I select the point, as I draw the dot, where the cart actually is, you see that it automatically advanced to the next frame. So in this next frame, I'm again going to select the same part of the cart and put a dot there. And it's going to automatically step through the frames, and as it does that, I kind of made a mistake there. You can actually go back and select a point here and delete that point by, I think, right-clicking on it. Anyway, you can figure that out if you make a mistake. But what I'm going to do is that it automatically steps through here. And as it steps through, I am going to select the point where the cart is at each point, in each frame in the video. So click, click, click. I'm just moving my mouse down and clicking where the cart is. And now you can see that we're forming a motion diagram. So this is called a motion diagram. It's a set of points in space where the object is in a particular time, in a time frame, or as we step through time. So good. So that's all it takes to actually analyze the video. So I'm going to make this small now and move it to the side. And this that I see right now is actually my x versus y, x versus time graph and a y versus time graph. If I go up here to options, let's see, I want to select the graph. I want to go to options, graph options. I can go to axes options, and I can take out the y. The y doesn't really matter to me. We're looking at motion in one direction here. So we're going to look at the x graph only. So if I hit done, now I have a nice graph. It has a little bit of a curve to it. Maybe it's linear. I'm not really sure. This is a graph that I want to print out for my data. So you're going to have an x versus t, or a position versus time graph for this trial. Then you are also going to insert a graph. So you go to insert graph. And this isn't exactly the right graph I want. I want an x velocity versus time. So what I'll go up to is options again, graph options. And instead of y velocity, I want x velocity. So I'll select that here and hit done. So this is another graph that I'm going to actually print out. And I'm going to get some information from that. It's not quite as pretty as the first graph, but it does tell us some information. So that's about it. So you're going to, for each trial that you have, I hope that you'll have two graphs, an x versus time and a velocity versus x velocity versus time for each trial. That's about it. So I hope to see you with your 12 graphs in class tomorrow. See ya.